Have you ever wondered why some people always blame others and never take responsibility for their actions? Why they constantly stay in a cycle of life is happening to me instead of I am creating my life? Let me tell you about that today on Trauma Talks, okay, with Krystal Boothe. We often label it as laziness, drama, or playing the victim. But what if there's something deeper going on with those individuals? In today's video, we're going to explore what's really happening beneath the surface when people avoid responsibility, and why self-victimization is often a survival response, not a character flaw. Okay? Alright, thank you for watching Trauma Talks, you guys. Okay? So understanding this victim mindset is so important so that we can begin to live the life we were destined to live. So first, let's be clear. Taking responsibility is a sign of maturity, self-awareness, and healing. But if someone can't or won't take ownership, it usually means they don't feel safe doing so. Okay? They just don't. Victim mindset isn't always intentional. It's a protection strategy. When someone has experienced childhood trauma, emotional neglect, or abuse, they may have internalized the belief that taking responsibility equals punishment. Mistakes equal shame, and accountability equals rejection. So instead of saying I need to change, they say it's not my fault. That becomes a way to protect the fragile part of themselves from shame, failure, or abandonment. Yes, a lot of people call these people narcissists, but they have a fragile sense of self, okay? And they're trying to protect that fragile sense of self. That's what we need to learn about here on Trauma Talks, okay? So, what's going on here? When someone's nervous system is still in survival mode, their brain can't access the executive functions that allow for reflection, accountability, or long-term thinking. Okay? Let's explain this a little bit further. All right? I want to explain the limbic system, okay? Which is the emotional center, and it hijacks the ability to self-reflect. Blame becomes a shortcut to avoid emotional pain. If I'm the victim, I don't have to look inward. For many trauma survivors, admitting fault feels extremely dangerous because they were taught they were already too much, or they were already a problem in some way, or just maybe not enough, or that, they were going to do something wrong in some way, okay, constantly. So imagine a child constantly punished for the things beyond their control. What does that teach them? That being responsible equals hurt. Okay, so let's go a little bit further and explain this, okay? How do we shift out of this victim mindset to victor, okay? How do we shift out of it? Okay, taking responsibility requires emotional safety, self-empathy, and a regulated nervous system, you guys. Okay, so let me give you some tips. Okay, the first thing you need to do is create safety first. You can't shame someone into maturity, but you can create an environment where growth feels possible. Using affirming language. It's safe to look at this. You're not in trouble. You're learning. Okay? Introduce self-empathy, which if you want to learn more about that, you can get my book, Deep Inner Soul Healing with Self-Empathy, or phrases like I'm here for you even when you make mistakes. That internal voice builds the courage to own your part. Model ownership without shame. Tell a story where you took responsibility in a moment of fear or resistance and how it led to freedom. That will help, okay? Also, empowered through choice. Blame keeps us stuck. Responsibility sets us free. It's how we move from surviving our story to rewriting it. Okay? So, let's take this a little bit further, you guys. Thank you guys for hanging in there with me. We're going to take this one more step and close out, okay? All right. So, we really need to fully change this whole way we think of this, okay? So, taking responsibility isn't about blame again. It's about reclaiming your power. It's saying, I can't